welcome. What's up, you guys? My name is TEEDAY6 and welcome to my channel. I want to start off by saying Happy New Year. I pray that your new year has begun with a good start and you are looking forward to new and better things. So recently I posted a tutorial of me installing straight crochet braids. And I told you guys I was going to bring forth this video next. Okay, so for this install, she has small cornrows in the front and she has a total of 7.5 cornrows in the back. Today I will be using the Crochet braid 3 times. Starting off with the back of her hair, I will be using the rubber band method. Someone left a comment on my last video stating that they didn't know what the rubber band method was, so I assured them that in my next tutorial I will elaborate on it. The rubber band method is just what it sounds like. It's equivalent to adding a rubber band to your hair to create a ponytail. So it's the same motion. So I'm going to slow the video down and do it in real time just so you can see what I'm talking about. I begin to take the end that I'm looping the hair through and I'm twisting as I'm looping. So when you use the rubber band method, the only thing that you're going to be doing is looping, twisting, and pulling through. And you can do this 2 to 3 times. Sometimes, depending on the type of hair, I will loop it more times than others. So just go what feels right with you. If once you pull the hair through, it stays into place, you may not have to loop it as many times, but I would loop more for silkier textures. Just as in the previous tutorials, I'm not going to be installing the hair underneath the cornrow because the cornrows are pretty nice size. So to avoid adding tension, we are going to just install the hair on each sides of the cornrows. And we're going to do it like land bricks. You install on the right side of the cornrow, and then on the left side of the cornrow, you're going to install it just a little bit higher. And then on the right side again, just a little bit higher than the left side. And you're going to do that until the whole cornrow is completed on both sides. And then the next step is going to be to fill in the middle of the cornrow. For this portion, we're going to use a smaller strand of hair to avoid it from being so thick. So we are going to add hair up the cornrow and we're going to make sure that there's a space in between each strand. Now for the back bottom of her hair, I did not add a lot of hair back there. And I didn't add the hair back there again because I wanted the style to look as natural as possible. I didn't want it too thick, too full, none of that. So make sure that you remember closer toward the top. That's when you're going to start packing in the hair because you want to make sure that each cornrow is filled in completely. Because if you don't fill it in, you're going to be able to see the cornrows and we don't want that. So you're going to just make sure that you fill in the hair mostly toward the top. The back bottom really doesn't matter unless you want your back to show and you know that, then go all out. But for this particular installment, I did not use a lot of hair for the back. Now as I began reaching the top smaller cornrows, now I'm going to be pulling even thinner strands of hair. Again, all over, I will be using the rubber band method for this portion as well. As you can see, I installed them really close together and I was able to loop them underneath the cornrow versus on the sides. So the smaller the cornrow, the less tension that there is, so it's okay to loop it underneath. And for this portion, I will also be using the rubber band method as well. And I will do this until I've filled in each cornrow on the top and on the side. Now once I make it to the area in the top where I will be stopping installing the hair, I will make sure that I will grab tiny pieces of hair to fill in around those areas. For this portion, you will not be using the rubber band method. You're just going to loop the hair through and then take the two ends and pull them apart. You're not going to do any knotting or anything. Don't make it more complicated than it has to be. All you're going to do is loop it through and then separate the ends and pull just to lock it into place. It is not coming down. So just take that chance. I mean, if you want to knot it, that's up to you, but I will inform you that it will increase chances of breakage around that area. Okay, so once I've finished installing the hair, the next step is going to be to make sure that I get rid of any loose strands or shed hair. And I'm going to do that by raking my fingers through it or using a wide tooth comb to comb through the hair. The next step is going to be to trim her ends. And I'm basically just making sure that it's even, make sure there are no strands longer than the other. The next step is lay her edges. So what I use to lay her edges is Gots to Be Glued gel in the black tube. I also use the Gots to Be Glued spray. Once I've molded her edges the way that I want them, the final step is to blow dry the hair. She has 4C hair, so I've noticed that it actually lasts longer when I do it this way. Once I finish molding her edges, I will add a little bit of oil sheen to it just to give it a little bit of shine. And we're all done. If you guys like this tutorial, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment down below to let me know you're watching. Also, follow me on my other social media accounts under TEEDAY6 or TEEDAY Tiffany. Okay, so before I go, I'm not one who has New Year resolutions or anything like that, but I did want to say this year, I pray that you guys stay focused, stay prayed up, know your worth, and even if you don't have any real goals set, just know that you have a purpose. Meaning, if there is anything that you want to do in life or that you thought of doing in life, do everything that you can to push forward. Even if it means doing it in silence until you get there. Thank you so much for watching my channel, and thank you so much for your love and support. You guys be blessed.